What's up, guys? It is Wednesday, January 18th. It's 1:42 p.m. and this is the crypto newsletter. So first off, we just need to talk about the market real quick. Couple key charts. What a crazy day. I mean, we started to break out new all-time highs for the year, and then bam, that news came out as far as the Justice Department, FBI, and doing that international kind of, I think it was an international crime. They said that they were arresting someone from BitLazarus or something. I thought it was actually going to be international regulation that we're going to announce. So I was hyped. I was about to go live, but it turns out that wasn't the case. But we need to take a look at the dollar, because the dollar right now potentially could be breaking higher, which obviously is not good for crypto. Or if we're looking on the 30-minute chart, we have this 200 moving average here, the yellow line coming up. You know, we broke above it here on a fake out, broke back down. Now we're pressing up against it again. So if this keeps breaking higher and we do break above, we could see a deeper correction for crypto. Like, look at Bitcoin right now. I mean, we broke out to a new high and then slammed down. We came actually right down to the 786. This is what we've been tracking. We had said, for the short term, if we want to see continued upside, we need to hold the 20,550 level. Basically it was, because we were taking this low now to this high, and we said that, you know, the 786, we pulled right down to it and we ended up bouncing from that level. But this could be a dead cat bounce. We could roll back down. So we did have some open FEMEX trades in the Stargate, and we got stopped out. But we've reopened it back up at the bottom here. So let me pull that up. So yeah, we've reopened it at right back up at the bottom, and now we're up. So any stops that we took a little loss on, we've recovered it back. So that's what we're doing in the Discord. If you guys haven't already joined the Discord, the link will be in the bio. Come join it, because what we're going to be doing is we're going to open back up slots to join Stargate as far as the Stargate services with the automated crypto signals in here. We literally have so many. It's not even funny. And we have the peer-to-peer signals. I mean, we're crushing the peer-to-pairs. We're doing an HBAR to XRP peer-to-peer trade that we took. What was it? I think it was a couple days ago. Yeah, right here. So the 15th, 3 days ago. And right now, I mean, if you pull up the charts, HBAR is up, I think 10% on the day. XRP is down 5% or down 3%. HBAR is up currently, breaking to new highs today. It did pull down, but it actually recovered very nicely. So on the day, HBAR is up 6%. XRP is down 3%. So we could convert back right now and have 10% more XRP than we did before in a matter of 3 days. So we're doing these peer-to-peer signals. So if you want to get access to the automated signals and the Stargate screener, then go to stargate-ventures.com. I'll put the link in the bio there, and now you can come join the site. And we added the free accelerator back because I really don't want to hold people back from education. And if that's what people need right now, and they can't, you know, afford the membership to get the full access to all the educational courses, then the free accelerator course is definitely the best thing that we can offer. So I wanted to keep that back open. There's no harm for us in doing that, and only value and benefit for you guys who want to get into the accelerator program. Maybe you saw it before and you never bit the bullet. I mean, it's free. You have nothing to lose. Come join the free accelerator. We have 2 missions in here. Mission 1, we talk about the history, and then we get into the future. And the future is coming sooner than you think, that's for sure. So these are very, very value-packed videos that are going to put you ahead of the game for mission 1, mission 2. If you wanted the full access to all the courses, then you would have to get on a paid membership here. But at least for the meantime, get on the free accelerator and just start diving deep into it. You can literally go to the website, click that, put in a little bit of info, and boom, you got instant access. So now let's take one more peek back at the chart. We're looking at the dollar right now. It does seem like we're getting a little bit of a rejection at the 200-day moving average, or the 200 moving average on the 30-minute chart, which is very good for crypto to continue bouncing on out of here, because that's what we want to see. We want to see us bounce on out of here. We do not want to hang around these lows. Ultimately, if we pull back up here, we need to clear 21,400, hold that support, and now we can start targeting in the 22,500, 24,000 and higher levels. And I believe we're in the disbelief phase of the bull market. I believe we started the bull market already. A lot of people don't believe it, but when we get into the news, you'll see that my thinking is likely the case here. So if you haven't already, subscribe, hit the notification bell, get updated real time when we drop these videos. So first off, why do we need decentralized storage in space? At Davos 2023, Filecoin announced its plan to launch the IPFS in space in collaboration with aerospace company Lockheed Martin. I'm not going to play this whole, actually it's 1:10, so I will play it right now. Let's listen to what she had to say.
Why do we need to have decentralized storage in space?
So specifically, the reason that IPFS is actually called the Interplanetary File System is because from the beginning it was really envisioned as a technology that can enable networking across really long distances. And so what you'll see is that on today's centralized internet, imagine that you are out in space. When you are looking for a particular file, like trying to load something, right? Let's say you're in a lunar station. You're looking for it in a particular server in a particular place. And let's say that's on Earth. If you're on the moon, that's a multi-second delay for retrieval. If you're on Mars, that's a multi-minute delay for retrieval. And every single time you try to retrieve that data, you have to take that delay, even if it's the same data over and over again. And so what IPFS does is, instead of retrieving content by where it is, you retrieve it by what it is. And so you look for a particular content ID and it's going to pull that content from wherever's closest. And so that means that if that file has already been downloaded on a nearby lunar station or on your hardware or on a passing satellite, it'll download it from wherever's closest rather than having to go back and forth from Earth every time.
So IPFS and Filecoin are for real slept on. They're at Davos. A lot of crypto companies that were there last year aren't there this year. I mean, the other companies that are there, Stellar, Hedera, what are some other ones? Circle, I believe. Oh, Ripple, right? And then you got Filecoin. So Filecoin is heavily tied up with the big boys. And I mean, it's such a steal right now. Or when we initially bought it back at the bottom, mid-December, it was a steal, but it's still even a steal right now. The all-time high price is over $100. It's sitting at around like $4. So let's keep moving, because next thing we have is Coinbase confirmed it's halting operations in Japan, citing market conditions as the reason. So customers have until February 16th to withdraw their fiat and crypto holdings from the exchange. I tend to not believe this. I mean, because of the current market conditions, we've seen a lot of companies come out and give that reason, but I just don't tend to believe it. So Coinbase entered the Japanese market after completing its registration with the country's financial services agency in June 2021. The exchange is following the footsteps of rival exchange Kraken, which ended its operations in Japan at the end of last year. I feel like there's a deeper reason to this, but we'll save that for another video. Let's keep going. We have crypto observers said the extraordinary measures the Treasury has promised to implement after the debt limit is reached will likely ease financial conditions and keep risk assets steady. So crypto observers maintain risk-on bias as U.S. debt ceiling nears. I guess on Thursday, we're potentially going to hit our debt limit and we could default, but the government's not going to default on their debt. They're just going to keep raising that bar. So understandably, well, one thing is too, I have a deep feeling that once this hits 33 trillion, all ish is about to hit the fan. Right now we're at 31.4 trillion on January 19th is the statutory debt limit. And I've been kind of keeping my eye on this for a while now, over a year now, because I just have a feeling when we hit 33 or 33.1 trillion, ish is about to hit the fan. Understandably, that's scary. It might force crypto investors to reconsider the sustainability of Bitcoin's recent rally. After all, we're talking about the government of the world's largest economy with the deepest financial markets and one that controls the supply of the global reserve currency, the greenback, reaching the limit on how much it can borrow to fund its operations. Still, it's no time to panic because any government shutdown won't happen immediately. Yellen has promised to implement extraordinary measures to help the government meet its obligation for at least 5 months, buying a few months for Congress to end the deadlock and increase the so-called debt ceiling to avoid a shutdown. So yeah, what we're seeing here is that they're going to keep raising the bar. That's what they always do. They're going to push it off until things lock up. Then let's go to the next thing. We have U.S. disrupts BitsLotto crypto exchange, arrests the founder. That was the huge news that the U.S. Treasury Justice Department came out with today. They accused the Hong Kong-based crypto exchange BitsLotto of laundering funds tied to illicit Russian finance, and its founder has been arrested. Then we have this. We're not the first out of the gate, but historically that's very on brand. Digital Dollar's executive director, she said, she shares an update on the status of a U.S. CBDC and how it compares to other nations. So let's hear what she's got to say.
I think we are not first out of the gate, but historically that is on brand for the United States when it comes to large global systemic change. For the Digital Dollar Project, we were founded and released a white paper in 2020 by former CFTC Chairman Chris Giancarlo and a collection of advisory board members, about 40 subject matter experts and global leaders. And we've just republished the white paper with 2 years of data globally to be able to analyze how far we've come, how relevant our original hypothesis was, and to start to tweak some of the experimentation to make sure that it is evolving with the standards and the data that's evolving globally.
We have a timeline in the United States for we might be testing or some sort of retail or wholesale CBDC.
So we've seen a couple projects come out of the Federal Reserve System. The Federal Reserve Bank of New York last year announced Project Cedar, which was a wholesale CBDC experiment. They also are acting as an observer to the Regulated Liabilities Network pilot. We have Project Hamilton, which we all know and have tracked for several years now out of the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston. And more recently, we've seen action to build out a central bank digital currency research team for the Federal Reserve System. At the same time, we're seeing a shift in leadership on Capitol Hill, a development of a digital currency subcommittee under the House Financial Services Committee and Chair McHenry's leadership. So I think this year is where we're going to start to see focus on how we can both legislate and experiment around CBDCs.
The year of regulation, the year of CBDCs, the year of utility. You're seeing it all spelled out there. And a couple things. So I didn't know that they released a white paper 2.0 this month. So we're going to have to pull that up. But also as well, too, I'm remembering last year, what I did was I made a summary of events for 2022, like laying out the dates, when things are going to happen. And I'm thinking today, I might make a summary of events for 2023 so we can be 1 step, 2 step, 3 steps ahead of the game as far as like, remember the 12-week pilot of the whole, I think that was Project Cedar, which we was talking about. I mean, we got to have these written down. We got to have a resource to go to be able to be like, all right, it's the month of February. What do we got lined up for this month? So we can have these things on our radar so we can have the insights beforehand. Because with everything coming out, there's so much stuff that comes out. A lot of these big things can get lost in the wind and with the noise. So I'm going to make a summary of Summary of Events 2023 edition. If you remember, I did make the Summary of Events 2022 edition. I'm sure I'm going to kind of combine them together because some of those things from 2022 are rolling over into 2023, but then I'm going to add on to it. So if you want to get that resource, come join the Discord. I'll put the link in the bio. In the Discord, I'll put that resource once you get in the research reports right here. I'll leave that 2023 summary events in there. So when you join the Discord, just message, say, hey, what up? I'll say what up back and just ask for the 2023 summary events resource and I'll send it to you. Now let's keep going. Yeah, here it is. So this is what I was talking about. Summary of events in order from 2022 to 2023, written by Rob Stargate on August 30th. We had all these laid out, but I'm going to add on to it because it's time. It's definitely time. We got to update this. And then also the Digital Dollar Project, Dollar White Paper 2.0. We're going to have to dive into that. So this was actually from today. Digital Dollar Project warns on U.S. cautious approach to CBDCs. The DDP's white paper called the U.S. approach to CBDC an unsustainable position. The U.S. may have conceded a head start to other nations in setting global standards for the future of money regarding CBDCs, but in the future, the country should lead the development of an international regulatory framework around digital currencies, the Digital Dollar Project said on Wednesday. In its updated white paper, now we got the link for it, the DDP, a nonprofit organization advocating for a U.S. CBDC, said the U.S. should set that regulatory framework independent of a decision to deploy a U.S. CBDC. So just setting up that international framework whether or not they're going to deploy CBDC or not. More than 100 jurisdictions around the world are researching or developing a CBDC, but the US remains cautious on the merits of a CBDC. In the coming CBDC future, the US should actively lead global discussions on governance, interoperability, security, privacy, scalability standards rather than reacting to foreign CBDC decisions. The DPP laid out a series of warnings about the US cautious approach, calling it a conspicuous absence and an unsustainable position. Such a defense posture by the US threatens to impact its domestic economy if foreign nations issue their own CBDCs that become widely adopted as the de facto standards for international wholesale and retail payments, the paper warned. The Atlantic Council previously issued a similar warning. Additionally, the CBDCs of other nations could be used to avoid financial sanctions, making it imperative that the US find ways to maintain the dominant use of the dollar in the digital global payment systems. If the US-led global financial infrastructure is perceived as too slow and expensive in comparison to foreign alternatives, a potential threat as other countries rapidly explore their version of CBDCs, it's possible other nations will begin or continue the process of de-dollarization. I mean, they've already started to. The Atlantic Council previously issued that similar warning. The DDP's white paper referred to a 2022 study by the Hoover Institution that looked at the global implications of China's CBDC, the digital yuan, including how China has established a first mover advantage in not only the deployment, but also technical underpinnings of a CBDC. China's CBDC enhances its ability to cement its international leadership in the space, the white paper noted. The digital yuan helps China's ability in setting economic norms and technical standards that align with its authoritarian governance system and increase its ability to undercut the traditional dominance of the US dollar as a source of geoeconomic and strategic influence. So the US has been setting leadership standards referring to the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, and it's testing the use of digital tokens representing digital dollars for wholesale transactions along with big banks. When you look at the Fed of New York and what they have been doing in their innovation offices, this has been setting the standard with all of it leaning towards wholesale tokenized deposits or tokenized liability network settlement between bank to bank. That's what they're focused on. Keep in mind, they had that sandbox, that Digital Dollar Project plans to explore CBDC technical solutions. With that sandbox, Ripple was chosen a part of that sandbox. So was MTech, which utilizes HBAR. So was like Knox as well too. So yeah, right here, Knox Networks and Digital Asset. I think they're heavily tied up with Stellar as well too. And Digital Asset is providing that DAML for Goldman Sachs, as far as just the other day talking about Goldman Sachs going to do tokenization. So there's a ton of stuff happening, and we're going to have to track it. There's so many things. We're going to have to get that summary of 2023 events, because this is the year where all these things get launched full scale. Now let's go to one thing in here was that, and it right when I saw it, I was like, I know what they're talking about. The white paper referred to a 2022 study by the Hoover Institution that looked at global implications of China's CBDC. I did a video about what was it? It was the Hoover Institution in Stanford. In that paper, they basically compared XRP to an ESDR, a digital SDR. And for the sake of it, I'm going to pull that video up. And this is from the Hoover Institution. This is 2022, so it's new. So this is Stanford University. So we're going to go to what we're going to do is to find XRP. And right here, it is possible to envision even more adventurous arrangements. For instance, a special drawing rights-based stablecoin issued by a multilateral agency reminiscent of John Maynard Keynes' proposed supranational currency, the Bancor. Guys, in Agartha, what do we talk about? We talk about the SDR. We talk about John Maynard Keynes. We talk about the supranational currency. And we talk about the Bancor, which would be an exchangeable with any national currency. Any national currency could thus be convertible into any other national currency in 2 steps via the stablecoin. Such an arrangement would resemble the cross-border payment system that Ripple currently operates with its XRP cryptocurrency and just one of the variety of possible alternatives. Huge. So what I was talking about with Agartha there is what I was showing you at the beginning. In Agartha, you can get access to the whole course with a paid membership here if you go to more and look at the plans and pricing. But with the accelerator program, it's free. You'll get mission 1 and mission 2. And we cover those things that I just talked about in Mission 1, Mission 2, so you can start learning about them now. So if you don't know what the SDR is, you don't know who John Maynard Keynes is, you don't know what the Bancor is, you don't know what who the IMF is and why the SDR is kind of important when we're talking about supranational currencies and XRP, right? We talk about supranational currencies down here as well too. Then dive into that accelerator program. It's free and you can start getting that free education in the meantime. So let's keep going. We have the Digital Dollar Project White Paper 2.0. So there's 36 pages here. What I'll do is we'll take a look at the table of contents. If anything strikes our eye here, we'll take a look at that section, but also we'll go to find and we'll start looking up some buzzwords. All right, table of contents. We got an introduction, refresh, what is the Digital Dollar Project, reintroduction to CBDC, the status of global CBDC development, revisiting the DTP's tenets for a digital dollar, tokenization, third format of currency, that's interesting, maintenance of the two-tiered banking system, privacy, monetary policy neutral, that's a buzzword, continued private sector innovation, more research is needed, global CBDC standards will the United States lead, conclusion, a call to action. And then they break it down by region. So let's just run through the intro and then we already know what the Digital Dollar Project is, and we'll run through some of the other things here. So the Digital Dollar Project is a nonprofit organization devoted to catalyzing private sector research and exploration of the potential advantages and challenges of a US CBDC or a digital dollar. It works to convene and incorporate the diverse perspectives and expertise of private sector, academic, and nonprofit leaders to inform the national consideration of a digital dollar and to understand the implications of global CBDC developments for Americans. When the Digital Dollar Project published its initial white paper exploring a US CBDC in May of 2020, the world was engulfed by a global pandemic and corresponding economic recession. As the US government struggled to efficiently distribute emergency relief funds to citizens, it confirmed that the US financial infrastructure had become just as outdated as its physical infrastructure and that far too many Americans are excluded from the existing financial system. So even back then, I remember there was a bill that was floated out that had floated out the idea of having Fed wallets and having the digital dollars be distributed out to people for the pandemic relief. I'm sure that this timeline, the reason why everything's taken so long, there was a wrench thrown in it because there was attempts to implement this earlier on, and it just keeps getting pushed back. But now we're seeing calls to action. We're seeing urgency. That's all the World Economic Forum. They're saying, we need urgent crypto regulation. We need to do these things. The green transition, it's urgent. We need to act. So they're panicking right now. They're trying to get it going. So the pandemic also added a new sense of urgency to already accelerating waves of digital innovation. Public and private entities across the globe expedited their research and experimentation into tokenized assets, including digital commodities, contracts, and legal titles. In the years that followed, companies and investors that poured money into developing new digital worlds made accessible via immersive technologies. Novel classes of digital assets underpinned by technologies such as blockchain, distributed ledgers dominated headlines and captured public attention as crypto market swings, with towering highs followed by staggering losses, demonstrated that a new digital age was unfolding and that public awareness of digital currencies was rising. Central banks were watching and had moved to utilize these new technologies, in part because of thoughtful private sector-led education and exploration efforts. At the time of publication in January 2023, the central banks of 114 countries or currency unions are at various stages of active CBDC exploration, a significant uptick from May 2020 when just only 35 countries were exploring CBDC. The rise of CBDC is no longer hypothetical. It is real and it's happening now. That's why you need to get that. If you don't already know what's going on or you only know a little bit, you want to get that free accelerator course. It'll get you up to speed. Several central banks have already deployed a CBDC, and major players on the global stage, such as the European Central Bank, have stated a goal of issuing a CBDC this decade. Notably, China has issued its pilot CBDC to 260 million digital wallets, and it's actively engaging with other countries and international organizations to begin shaping global standards for the future of money. In this context of unparalleled technological change, the mission of the Digital Dollar Project has crystallized and helped inform public discussion regarding CBDCs. The Digital Dollar Project continues to provide a neutral place for private sector actors and thought leaders to explore the technical and policy choices and challenges for a tokenized digital dollar across various use cases. The Digital Dollar Project's inaugural 2020 white paper urged that the U.S. to accelerate consideration of a digital dollar through real-world experimentation and proposed a champion model of a digital dollar for public consideration. In this 2023 paper, we revisit our champion model and encourage the U.S. to continue its research into the benefits, challenges of a CBDC, and furthermore give developments over the past few years. We have even a stronger conviction that the U.S. has an important role to play in setting international standards for digital currencies, particularly as other major economies are already beginning to exert leadership in setting global standards. To be clear, U.S. engagement in standard setting is critical and independent of the decision of whether or not to deploy U.S. CBDC. The U.S. must ensure that democratic values of a free society, including financial privacy and economic freedom, are enshrined in the future of money. That's what, the countries of the world are battling right now. Who's going to lead the future of the money? And the US right now is dropping the bag on it. So it's time to catch up. So as global CBDC developments progress, it is also more important than ever for American stakeholders, including U.S. commercial entities that operate in jurisdictions that have deployed or will deploy CBDCs, as well as academic, nonprofit, and public policy institutions to understand and inform these developments. To that end, we offer 3 high-level recommendations to the U.S. government and U.S. private sector. All right, here's some juice right here. So the U.S. government should increase investment and activity in research and exploring the benefits and challenges of a tokenized digital dollar, including leveraging transparent and innovative public-private partnerships to reimagine the potential rails of such a system and evaluate solutions to preserve all forms of privacy while balancing security needs. How often have we heard Ripple say, the rails, right? Rewiring the rails, laying down new rails. Then 2, the U.S. government should provide leadership in international digital currency standards setting, regardless of whether it decides to deploy a digital dollar. And 3, the U.S. private sector, including U.S. commercial entities operating in foreign jurisdictions and policy-based academic and nonprofit institutions, must understand and consider the strategic and operational impacts of rapidly progressing CBDCs deployments abroad. So the following 2023 update provides a snapshot of the global CBDC landscape, revisits the digital dollar project's champion model of a potential digital dollar, and looks ahead to the next stage in the evolution of CBDC deployment. Cool. Good stuff. All right, let's move down and see what we got going. So here's a couple of initiatives. So the progress so far. Creating an initial pilot program. So with the DTCC, so there's a DDPDTCC pilot report. That's a tongue twister, eh? So I don't know if I came across this one yet. Interesting. Jeez, man, there is just so much to cover. I don't think I've came across this one before. So we're going to have to save this for another video. I'll do a follow-up today. Interesting stuff here, man. Let me do duplicate and let's go back to the digital dollar project. So I would say let's look up some keywords. XRP, nope. Ripple, wholesale. So we got wholesale. So about the digital dollar project, retail, wholesale, international payments. Okay, let's go up here. So it references Banque de France and how Banque de France, the BIS, and Swiss National Bank conclude successful cross-border wholesale CBDC experiment. We got Africa. South Africa is piloting a wholesale CBDC to test the feasibility of an interbank payment settlement system using a tokenized RAN on a private ledger. It's also participating in the Bank for International Settlements Project Dunbar to test international CBDC settlement on a multi-CBDC platform. Good stuff. Now let's keep going. The Monetary Authority of Singapore does, however, see good potential for wholesale CBDC rather than for retail, so wholesale, to achieve atomic settlement using DLT. Okay, the Reserve Bank of India outlined the objectives of potential digital rupee and launched a wholesale CBDC pilot program with Indian banks. And then according to an extensive report by the Hoover Institution, one security implication of China's first mover advantage in the opportunity to advance norms such as those around privacy internationally through the design of its CBDC, but that doesn't pertain to the wholesale. If other countries develop widely adopted CBDCs that become the de facto standard for international wholesale and retail payments, they may have a head start in setting global standards for the future of money. Then we have this in the wholesale settlement model. transactions are executed at the organizational level, not on an individual one. Instead of preserving an individual's privacy, a CBDC network would need to ensure the confidentiality of data relating to the transactions participating organizations. And doing the wholesale model is all on the back end. So we'll just, as individuals, just realize that our money's moving faster. It's settling faster. We're able to access it instantly. The fees are cheaper, right? Doing it on a retail level is like, it's so out in the open that I believe wholesale is going to be issued out first. And that's why they say wholesale more compelling than retail, because they know it's not going to be favored among the general population. Let's keep going. I think I missed one right here. Oh, that was just a reference. And then we have this Project Enbridge, our wholesale. So this is between China, Hong Kong, Thailand, the United Arab Emirates, testing a real-time peer-to-peer cross-border payments and foreign exchange transactions using CBDC. The transaction in Project Enbridge are wholesale, which, as discussed above, are large value transactions predominantly executed by banking and payment providers. Right up Ripple's alley, right? There are 9 wholesale cross-border CBDC pilots and 7 cross-border retail CBDC pilots globally, and that was recent, December 2022. This trend is particularly important for the US, as global cross-border developments may have significant implications for the US dollar's position as the global reserve currency of choice. Yeah, I mean, we're seeing the de-dollarization as we speak. We've seen it happening over the past years now. With the advent of these technologies, there's no need for the US dollar to be that main payment currency, as Jim Rickards has said before. Oh my God, I can't believe it. The Holy Grail. The Holy Grail, they put it in there. I can't believe it. Several countries have increased research and piloting to explore how CBDC could solve the problem of slow and expensive cross-border payments. The ECB has hailed CBDC's potential as the Holy Grail of cross-border payments by allowing these transactions to be immediate, cheap, universal, and settled in a secure settlement medium. Dude, so we've covered all this stuff, basically. So they're putting in a nice tidy paper for us to resort back to. But if you haven't already seen my video on the Holy Grail of cross-border payments, you got to watch that. I'll link that in the bio as well too. Check that out, because that is next level. With the EQ de Mark was basically a private currency that only central bankers or bankers used back in the medieval times in the 1400s or the Middle Ages. And it was basically what, like XRP is being positioned to be today, is virtual currency that's used as kind of a bridge currency for all these current local currencies across the world that these international bankers agree upon that they'll accept it, right, and put a value on it. So that's next level. So I'll link that in the bio, and then let's just finish this off right here. So we got wholesale CBDCs is a type of CBDC utilized by financial institutions or other major entities rather than individuals, and can be used for interbank settlements and other large financial transactions. There we go. So I think that about covers it. I don't want to stretch this video too long because I want to make sure it's short and to the point. But as you can see on the CBDC front, things are developing fast. We just have this Whitepaper 2.0 coming out. We had Bank of America saying CBDCs are the future of money. We had IBM saying CBDCs are the future of money. We're having Ripple come out and talking about CBDCs at Davos as well too. And there's a whole lot of things going on. Plus this report that came out that we were looking at, which I'm going to cover, the Digital Dollar Project and DTCC Security Settlement Pilot. I don't remember seeing this before, so we'll have to cover this in a follow-up video. But as you can see, things are moving fast, and it's time to hop on the train and get understanding kind of where we're at before in the past with the history of money, and kind of where we're at in present day and where we're headed to. So come over to stargate-ventures.com, get your free accelerator, and you'll learn all about that. So I'm going to work on that 2023 summary of events document. If you want access to that, I'm only going to be dropping it in the Discord. So click the link in the bio, come join the Discord, say what up, say you're looking for that 2023 summary of events, and I'll send it over to you guys. So I will see you in the Discord, and I'll see you in the next video.